everyone. Tonight on our program, Ghana ranked as an underperforming economy among 4 nations in sub-Saharan Africa in a new survey. Also tonight, a warning that the economy will be impacted severely if government fails to get the electronic transaction levy bill passed.
We need to pass the E-levy. Ghanaians must support the government to pass the E-levy as a matter of urgency for a short-term measure to mitigate the fiscal challenges and to also to resolve the cedi depreciation and inflation as a matter of urgency.
Also ahead tonight, why shea butter traders are worried they are losing customers to chemically formulated butter.
This season's Hamatan was not severe. We made little sales.
My name is Darryl Kwab. Thanks for being with us. Details in a moment. Well, first up tonight, economist Dr. Edu Susako says the economy will be impacted severely if government fails to get the electronic transaction levy bill passed. He's therefore appealing to government to incorporate all the suggestions made by Ghanaians over the proposed electronic transaction levy and convince the minority to support its passage. Government has embarked on a town hall meeting to solicit input from Ghanaians into the controversial levy. Dr. Sarkodie says the E-levy is a necessary short-term measure to bring back life to the fiscal economy.
When you compound it with the cedi depreciation, then the fuel price will go up. With the fuel price increases, transportation fares will go up. We have heard of 30% increment in transport fares. Then the consequence of this is inflation and then high cost of living. And you know, Bank of Ghana will obviously also want to respond by increasing the policy rate. And so I won't be surprised if in their next meeting they increase the policy rate to mitigate the effect of inflation. But in the attempt to increase the policy rate, it will then increase interest rate, the lending rate, which will increase the cost of borrowing, increase the cost of production, and then compound the increase in inflation. And so the problems might keep compounding. How do we resolve the issue? We have the long-term solution as to resolve the structure of the economy, get more export promotion, import substitution. That is a long-term solution. The medium-term solution is for government to mobilize enough resources and get enough foreign exchange to be able to meet the demands of it. But the short-term measure, the immediate-term measure for government to resolve all this economic crisis is to be able to have access to the international capital market. Remember that the international credit rating agencies, they downgraded the economy because of governments. They think that government will not be able to meet its budget deficit target because they've not been able to pass the bill to meet the revenue targets like the E-levy and the reversal of the 50% benchmark values. So as a matter of urgency, we need to pass the E-levy. Ghanaians must support the government to pass the E-levy as a matter of urgency for a short-term measure to mitigate the fiscal challenges and to also to resolve the cedi depreciation and inflation as a matter of urgency. And I want to call on government to also, of course, they have gone through the town hall meetings and some of us have been contributing to the E-levy design. Let them incorporate all the suggestions of the design, lay it on the floor of Parliament, debate it, and pass it within the shortest possible time so they can have access to the international capital market, raise bonds, get some forex to shore up the cedi, and then also finance the expenditure that they want to finance within the year. This is a short-term measure. I am in no way saying that government should continue borrowing, but this is just a short-term measure. And in the long-term measure, medium-term measure is to raise revenue domestically, and the long-term measure is to change the structure of the economy. If we do this, I'm sure things will get better.
All right, turning to other stories for you, the Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering in West Africa, GIABA, is strengthening its mechanisms to reduce illicit financial transactions in the sub-region. The move will need intense collaboration amongst stakeholders and members of the financial sector in the sub-region, according to Director of Economic Crime at the agency, Bono Induka. Induka spoke at the opening of a 3-day regional workshop for journalists on investigative reporting of economic and financial crimes in West Africa.
This is why you have to constantly seek knowledge and sharpen your skills. As investigative journalists, the outcome of your investigations must at all times be without ambiguity. It is often said that a free and vibrant press is essential in a democratic society, but it is equally important that stories reported by journalists, and for that matter, investigative journalists, are accurate and substantiated with facts. This will go a long way to help the society. As journalists, as you know, you must not have just sources, but very reliable sources to help you do a good work. You should ensure that the story is not just to discredit someone, but to present the facts as revealed by the investigation. In other words, you should as much as possible take a disinterested position. So, Chairman, the focus of this 3-day workshop, I believe, is to help improve the quality and objectivity of the information investigative journalists present to the public.
Now, to one of our top stories tonight, Ghana has been ranked as an underperforming economy among 4 nations in sub-Saharan Africa, including South Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya. According to a survey undertaken by a senior lecturer at the economics department of the University of Ghana, Dr. Priscilla Chumesi-Bafo, Ghana performed below expectation in all the indicators. For instance, the country's interest rate is currently on the rise, whilst its debt to total size of the economy is also a major concern. Now, speaking at the Axis Pension Strategy Conference, Dr. Bafo highlighted the treasury bill rates, inflation, the performance of the local currency, and the adverse credit ratings as some drivers of high interest rates in the country.
In a recent survey undertaken by a senior lecturer at the economics department of the University of Ghana, the country placed last among 4 economies in sub-Saharan Africa. This was as a result of an unstable economic environment. Here's Dr. Priscilla Chumesi-Bafo presenting her findings at the Axis Pension Strategy Conference.
Why are interest rates high, and are they even high at all? Comparing Ghana to Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa, Ghana's interest rate is way too high. We are doing more than double what is happening elsewhere. Look at the South Africans' interest rate, 7.3%. Nigeria, it's also great, but when you look at options for investment, you find that Nigeria is not doing too great compared to Ghana. So my emphasis really will be on Kenya and South Africa because we want to look at best practice.
Another survey conducted by Axis Pension Trust showed that 72% of participants believed that equity markets will maintain momentum for pension funds in 2022. Presenting the findings, investment strategist Carl Okran explained that valuation levels are cheap to cause an increase in liquidity.
On the equity market, an interesting outcome, majority of participants believe that the equity market will maintain its momentum in 2022. 72% believe that. What's going to drive the equity market is valuation levels are cheap from financial market perspective. If you look at where the market is trading, there's so much opportunity to earn some healthy returns, and also the new guidelines that sort of allows or promotes pension funds to enhance their allocation to the equity market may drive some liquidity into that space.
Meanwhile, Chief Investments Officer at Axis Pension Trust, Nanawi Afebuama, outlined some sectors trustees can maximize values for contributions.
Our pension funds have invested over 90% of the assets in government or quasi-government securities. And we feel, if we really want to grow our economy and create a needed, job, then we may consistently, have to start allocating to the real sector. Tourism is an opportunity we could exploit. There's healthcare. People get sick and people need, to be, treated. So healthcare remains an opportunity, right, for pension funds. Real estate, remains a very good, opportunity. So it cuts across. Agriculture, agribusiness, value addition. Those are all sectors we can direct resources to, to help grow, our economy.
You're watching Business Live. Some news coming into us tonight. Government has reduced the benchmark values on general goods from 50% to 30%, as well as import discounts on vehicles from 30% to 10%. The reduction follows a consensus between the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and leadership of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, the Association of Ghana Industries, Institute of Freight Forwarders, and the Ghana Revenue Authority. Joy Business gathers from the consultative meeting that the government may implement the new adjustments in March 2022 as preparations are underway for a final announcement of the said date. We'll bring you more on that story and get reactions as the news trickles in. Next, a conversation on digital currencies, regulated banking, and the future of money. That will be the focus of this quarter's ABSA Bank UPSA Law School Banking Roundtable program. It takes place tomorrow, and joining me with a look ahead is Gertrude Amoko Ama. Great to have you tonight. Now, this is an interesting one for me, and whether we accept it or not, digital currencies are where we are headed, Gertrude.
Absolutely, Daryl. Good evening to you and to your viewers, and thank you very much for having me. I bring your greetings from the UPSA Law School. Interesting perspective you have just shared. Digital currencies, whether we accept it or not, have come to stay. And for us at the UPSA Law School, we have noted the various concerns people have raised about the nature of digital currencies, whether there's a need to regulate them, whether they should even be accepted in Ghana or they should be banned, like what has been done in other jurisdictions. But you'd also notice that recent global trends is moving in the direction of challenging what was traditionally seen to be the nature and character of money with the emergence of these digital currencies. So the UPSA Law School and ABSA decided that for this quarter's discussion of the banking roundtable, we should take a critical look, bring together experts whose field of research and practice fall within digital currencies, to have a structured conversation on what digital currencies are, their nature and character, what should be the way forward with regards to its regulation, and so on and so forth. So that is the rationale behind this quarter's discussion on the ABSA UPSA Law School Quarterly Banking Roundtable. And
the Bank of Ghana last year started the rollout of a pilot of the digital currency. And when it comes to digital currencies, I should admit, amongst those who are a bit skeptical about it because of the risks perceived. And that's when regulation comes in, right, Gertrude?
Absolutely. And you'd agree with me that some people have even expressed concern over the stance of the regulator, the central bank, when it comes to digital currencies. Some people are of the view that their stance is not very clear, while others find it not so satisfactory. So tomorrow, joining us will be a representative from the Bank of Ghana, the head of FinTech and Innovation, together with other experts, Mr. Adolf Began from ABSA Bank Ghana, and then a legal practitioner, Mr. Desmond Israel, take a second look or to take a structured look at these matters once again. So for those who will be able to join us tomorrow, and we are encouraging everyone to join us on Zoom tomorrow, they can be assured that they will get a clearer and more in-depth understanding of digital currencies, both from the perspective of the regulator, that is the Bank of Ghana, and then from the industry perspective as well.
And education is very important, and that's one of the reasons why you're holding this roundtable discussion. So How can people join?
Yes, thank you very much. The event will be in the form of a webinar, so it is virtual. You can just join us on Zoom. For information on joining, how to join, I would encourage all of us to visit the website of the UPSA Law School or even the website of the University of Professional Studies Accra. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Facebook, UPSA Law School, on Twitter at UPSA Law School, and then also UPSA Law School on LinkedIn. The poster with the joining, the link for joining and the other details to be able to join us on Zoom are all present. So kindly visit our website or any of our social media platforms for information on how to join the webinar. It's at 3 p.m. prompt tomorrow, Wednesday.
We will be following. Thanks very much indeed, Gertrude Amoko Amathe, coordinator of the Absa Bank UPSA Banking Roundtable that is set to take place tomorrow. You're watching Business Live. Still ahead, we find out why shea butter traders are worried they're losing customers to chemically formulated butter.
This season's Hamatan was not severe. We made little sales.
Well, welcome back. Traders in shea butter say sales have declined this Harmattan season compared to previous years. Though the severity of the Harmattan has declined in recent years, some traders say they are losing customers to chemically formulated butter. Love FM's Mona Lisa Frimpong has more in this report.
43-year-old Salamatu Abdallah has been selling shea butter since age 5. She has observed the severity of the Harmattan season declining over the years is a situation that has adversely affected her sales. Now, the highest profit she can record in a day is 10 Ghana cedis compared to the previous 50 cedis a day. But she is positive sales may shoot up the next season.
About one day now, almost it's soon to the and I'm saying, you talk around on your one city cry.
This season's Harmattan was not severe. We made little sales. There is a growing apathy among traders to venture into the sales of shea butter. The few who are still trading in the commodity in the central business district of Kumasi are dispersed. Salamatu says this trade requires patience. Many of my colleagues shea butter traders have stopped their trade. They say it is not lucrative. The reduction in demand for shea butter can be due to decline in the use of raw shea butter for skincare. Whilst people say it darkens their complexion, others fear it causes acne. Though they testify of its authenticity, a number of people have switched to the use of chemically formulated body butters.
For me, I use the processed ones, but at first I was using the raw ones. I remember all the way from SHS to tertiary and even beginning parts when I gave birth. I was using raw butter for everything I was doing. It was okay for me, but then at a point, I think I used the process because people were saying, "Oh, shea butter there was the one that has been processed."
Personally, I do not use shea butter, but I use it on my kids.
Pimples break out on my face whenever I use shea butter. But entrepreneur Michelle Apanga's case is different. The use of raw shea butter helped in treating her and her son's skin conditions. This made her venture into the business of adding value in processing raw shea butter.
Those who knew about the challenge I had would ask for, what's that thing that worked for the boy? And then that's how I started, because I was giving a whole lot of free samples out. So why not make something out of it?
Michelle is now a strong player in the cosmetic industry. She gives insight into how traders can better the shea butter trade.
Usually, it's the way they handle it in the market. You want shea butter, it's out there in the open. Water is sprinkled on it, bacteria is growing. You don't know what is in there. You use and slightly say, oh, maybe I use shea butter, I darken. But you have no idea how that is being treated, even how they package it in there. So it's education.
The shea butter industry has the potential to contribute to the economic and industrial development of the nation, especially with a wide range of industrial application of shea butter. So, developing the shea butter value chain will definitely create employment across all levels of the shea butter value chain. Reporting for Joy News, Mona Lisa Frimpong.
And that's Business Live tonight. Thanks for watching. And on that note, a happy birthday to my producer, Bismarck Owusa. Great job. Goodbye.